Hi, everyone. This is Scarlett Johnson with Moms for Liberty. And there has been a shocking story just brought to my attention. And I wanted to go live to discuss it, particularly as tonight, Moms for Liberty will have another important discussion on comprehensive sex education. It will air live on all of our social media, and that will be at 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern, and I'll have some more information at the end. But I was going to just post on this, but I know enough about this subject, and I think it's really important that there's more context. So let's just get right to it. I'm going to put the post that was brought to my attention by Lindsay Datko, and she's the founder of Jeffco Kids First. And her post it's going viral and picked up by libs of TikTok. And so let's just see it. So this is Columbine High School freshman class. And you can see this is 14-year-olds. And you see in the background a wooden penis model. So one of the kids took a picture of this and showed it to their parents. If this is not shocking enough, got to hear the whole backstory. I can tell you exactly where this came from and exactly the curriculum this is derived from, and tie it directly to Planned Parenthood, Advocates for Youth, comprehensive sex education, and your tax dollars. You are paying for this. So parents, whether or not you have kids in public school or private school, or they're grown, if you don't have any kids or if you're grandparents, you are paying for this. This is what you're paying for. And I can prove that. So I can show you exactly where this curriculum comes from. So let's pull it up right now. Creating condom confidence, a lesson plan from the 3 R's: rights, respect, responsibility. It's a K through 12 curriculum. You can see by the end of 12th grade, here are the standards that should be aligned with. Materials needed: latex condoms, enough for each student in the class to have one, plus extras just in case. Bananas. Now here they would just have bananas. A teacher's guide, handout, steps to putting on a condom, all of that stuff. And your Advocates for Youth. Now, here, banana or wooden penis. So I can really quick show you exactly the link. I'm going to go here. So here again, they're going to talk about the different how-tos, but right here is where I want you to look. So here's a link for the wooden penis model right here. Materials needed, wooden penis model, available for purchase. And I will show you where to purchase. Education, Training, Research, ETR, the Condom Educator Kit. And see, look at the flyers there. And then again, look here. See, it's the kit. Here's the kit. Here's where you would buy it. Award-winning condom use flash drive, 75 premium condoms, a durable carrying case. But it's all right there. And you can see in the classroom, again, right there. So here's the post. I'm really curious about everyone's thoughts on the sex ed lesson at Columbine yesterday, where freshmen were asked to put condoms on a wooden penis. I am a school counselor in the district and have already removed my kids from Jeffco last year. This is a prime example of why we took them out. And so I want to go right to Share this tab. Okay. Here's Planned Parenthood, advocate for effective sex education. It's everywhere. So if you don't know, Planned Parenthood is the number one provider of human growth and development, or sex ed, in the United States. This is how they make money. They're reimbursed. And we're going to go down here. I have so many links. Hold on. So right now, we're going through the budget reconciliation process. The plan is, and the hope is, to defund Planned Parenthood. They receive hundreds of millions of dollars. Some estimate up to $800 million in reimbursements from doing things like sex ed classes in American public schools. So they are getting paid to do this, to bring these materials into classrooms. Pretty shocking. Look at this. Advocates for Youth, same organization that creates the curricula, Feminist Majority Foundation, and Planned Parenthood announced Youth Shout Out, a campaign to engage and mobilize young voters. Advocates for Youth, Planned Parenthood, mobilizing voters. They are activists. They are activists. They work together. They are funded with our tax dollars. All of this is intertwined. So money, and this doesn't even necessarily fall under the Department of Education, Health and Human Services. They provide STD prevention. They would say prevention of teen pregnancy. Planned Parenthood even claims that they provide curriculum for abstinence-only education. If they can go into classrooms and provide this to 14-year-old children in America, why can't a priest go into a classroom and talk about abstinence education? What's the difference? We say we don't want religion in schools. You could say that they would have a bias, but why can't a priest go in, and why can't the Catholic Church write a curriculum, get reimbursed for it from the government, and then go in and talk in a non-biased way about abstinence education? If you're going to allow Planned Parenthood to work with an activist organization that mobilizes voters, left-wing voters, and recommends Planned Parenthood material to be purchased and then reimbursed by the federal government, and Planned Parenthood is a group that, an organization, a company that performs abortion. So it's in their kind of financial best interest for none of this to work, to get kids sexually active so that a pregnancy can happen and then they can profit from taking that child. On top of it, it's just mind-blowing, because when you consider, I'm going to remove this. When you consider the fact that live action, undercover, just proved that Planned Parenthood provides gender-affirming care to minors and does it virtually. They have a 6-year-old can just place a call, say, hey, I'm a girl, I feel like a boy. My mom and dad don't know. I would like to get puberty blockers. And they're like, no problem. We can get that for you. Do you think it's free? No. They're going to submit receipts to get reimbursed. They submit receipts. And they get paid for by our tax dollars. So none of this is free. The kids are going to get puberty blockers, which will cause life-altering changes to their body without their without parental consent, sometimes without their knowledge. And this is all being paid for with our tax dollars. Planned Parenthood works with groups like Advocates for Youth, and I was really hoping, like, this was not all planned on. I'm really hoping that my friend Kelly can get on, and I'm gonna really try to get her on, because she is going to be talking today on CSE, comprehensive sexuality education. She's going to be doing that uh, again, like I said, with Moms for Liberty. She knows all of this happened in California, like started 2016, 2017, maybe earlier. But I'm going to share some more stuff. Again, using condoms effectively. Now, you can see the slide. The learning objectives, media hunt. Did they use comment? That's homework. Let's look there. Okay, note to teacher. The following represents the correct order in which to use a condom by the reference checks. Oh my gosh. I am not going to say all of this stuff. I already had to say the word penis way too many times. A plastic pelvic model. So that's a plastic pelvic model. They'll bring in female condoms. So here, again, this is all part of the Advocates for Youth comprehensive sexuality education lesson. They partner with Planned Parenthood. Advocates for Youth is considered the gold standard comprehensive sexuality education that was pushed by the Biden administration. It is in use in my state of Wisconsin. It's California, Illinois, Maryland, all over. And then homework media hunt. Did they use condoms? So when you're watching TV shows, videos, or movies, keep this with you. Please share 3 examples of couples that are in a sexual relationship. And then this is part of like their homework. Again, creating condom confidence, more demonstrations, learning objectives, all of this. I am very intentional about you going as 9th graders, because some adults might. Oh yeah. So this is something too. One of the outside the class activities are condom hunts. And I don't have the sheet for that, but that a parent gave me this lesson going on a condom hunt where the kids, and in this case, the kids were in 8th grade. They were to go to various drugstores and try to buy condoms, see if they could purchase condoms. And then if they could, they would mark it on the worksheet. And the title on it was going on a condom hunt. Yeah, funded with our tax dollars. Now, perhaps you're in agreement with this and you would sign off on this. Okay. But there are many families that would not. There are many families that engaging in this lesson would violate their deeply held religious beliefs. It would, whether or not they are religious, maybe just their family values. The ability to opt out is a huge problem. I talked about earlier today, we posted about this on Moms for Liberty. Even in Southern California, a federal court judge had to say that this whole we're not going to allow opt-outs is just gone too far in public schools. And in California, it was recently ruled that in an elementary school, that school in Encinitas had to provide parents the ability to opt out their fifth graders from reading books like My Shadow is Pink to kindergartners. They were reading this book, My Shadow is Pink. It's a book about a boy going on their gender journey, discovering that, hey, I like books, I like pink, I like dresses, I must be a girl. Then allegedly there was an activity on the playground where the kids would lay down on the ground while the fifth graders would outline their bodies in pink, creating a pink shadow. That I can't verify, but that is allegedly something that happened. I can say for sure that because I saw the testimony of parents that fifth graders were forced to read books about transgenderism and gender ideology to 5-year-olds. In schools, often they'll have a buddy system. There'll be an older kid that's the buddy of a younger kid. And in this system, which is typically adorable, um, I know my kids all they had buddies, they were buddies, and I volunteered in classrooms a lot, several times a week when my kids were younger, and I watched this firsthand. And what is precious and sweet has been turned pretty darn ugly when you're forcing fifth graders who are 10 to read books about gender ideology to 5-year-olds. It's like a struggle session gone crazy. So I won't belabor this too much, but just to put these points together. Planned Parenthood provides sex education to public schools. They are promoted by Advocates for Youth and other. Well, they're not too many. Advocates for Youth is the big one that provides human growth and development content. And then you see here, Advocates for Youth pushes this, the Condom Educator Kit. Now, this is how much it costs, and of course, submit receipts for reimbursement. Then this kit ends up right here in our schools. This is why we must defund Planned Parenthood. Absolutely must do it. Schools don't raise children, parents do. And it's our values that need to matter. Even if you were to agree with this exercise and opt your kids in, is it legitimate? Is it right? Is it moral to have an organization like Planned Parenthood, an extremely controversial organization, an organization which half of the country absolutely does not want to fund? And I believe the numbers are far greater than that because normal, sane people, whether or not they are to the left or to the right, do not think that it's kosher to fund an organization to teach sex ed to kids as young as 5. Because comprehensive sexuality education is about providing sex ed to kids as young as 5. At 5 years old. To have an organization like Planned Parenthood whose main business is to provide abortions, to let them into schools, to talk about abstinence, to talk about sex ed, to basically go into a school provide the education and then say, come see us if this whole condom thing doesn't work out. Um, hey, if you need birth control, come see us. It's free. Or you think you're transgender? Well, come see us. We'll give you some free puberty blockers, free referrals to get cross-sex hormones or to have a double mastectomy. We'll give you that referral for free, not free. We're paying for it. They are subsidized. Medicaid dollars, HHS. They are subsidized with our tax dollars. They don't go out of the goodwill of their hearts to public schools to teach this stuff. They're My friend Catalina was on a live discussion with Lila Rose of Live Action yesterday, and she said it best when she said they view our kids as cash cows, and they absolutely do. I think they're ideological as well, but they profit. They profit from the services that they're providing in public schools, and they profit in a way that's really gross. They profit when kids remove their genitals. They profit when that condom doesn't work and young kids, there's a pregnancy and there's a termination. And Moms for Liberty, we focus on education, we focus on family, focus on children. We keep our mission right there. But that this stuff is originating in a classroom, in a K through 12 classroom, and that a lot of the moms that make up the membership of Moms for Liberty, the dads, the grandparents, those who support us, they are appalled. They are appalled that their tax dollars are funding this kind of education and where it leads. So I strongly, if there's a call to action, contact your congressman and say, get Planned Parenthood out of K through 12 education. Defund Planned Parenthood. We don't want to subsidize their curriculum. We don't want to subsidize their organization in any way. We don't want Planned Parenthood in our kids' schools. We don't want Planned Parenthood in our kids' classrooms. We don't want our children to have the ability to get medical care without our knowledge or consent and then be stuck paying for it as well. So, and as always, join Moms for Liberty, momsforliberty.org. I'll put that on there. And help us in this fight, because we do so much. As far as K through 12 education, I always say we are the U.S. Marines of parental rights activism. We attend school board meetings. We develop relationships with superintendents, with school board members, with teachers. We want to work. We want to partner. We want. We know that public schools should be a safe place for all kids and all families in the community, and that if we work together, we can come up with common sense solutions. And opt-ins are preferable. Opt-outs are an absolute must. At the very least, we should be able to opt our kids out. It would be nice if we could opt our kids in. School board members should know it. Also, if you live in Wisconsin, there are very lengthy passages about human growth and development, and school boards can write their human growth and development standards and completely bypass their departments of education. And they don't have to. In some states, you do. I know some states like Illinois, California, you do have to teach certain curriculum, but in most, you don't. In most, you just have to align with your state standards. And if that is the case, school boards, you have a lot of power and a lot of control, and you can shield the children in your district from some of these radical elements. And these are things that you learn when you join Moms for Liberty, when you attend our M4LU courses. And this month, it's comprehensive sexuality education. We have already had CSE 101, which was like 2 hours of nonstop facts, mind-blowing information. And you can go to our website. You can go to m4lu.org and you can watch this video. You could go to our YouTube, our Rumble, and go to our social media accounts so you can watch these videos. And you can join Moms for Liberty at momsforliberty.org. And you can watch live tonight. After the conversation tonight, I am hoping to have a discussion with some moms as we absorb everything that we learn in the lecture. So, if you want to stay up a little bit later, I will be chatting with some of my friends, and that's what I'm always trying to do. I'm just chatting right now. I mean, you can watch, there's a lot of people that talk about this and they've talked about it a lot. And, here I'm just trying to have a conversation, mom to mom, mom to parent, I'm just a regular mom and just trying to navigate. A lot of my children are grown now, but navigate my kids through all of this. I'm grateful that half of my kids are at an age where I don't have to worry about this anymore. But many of you listening, whether you're listening live or this is a recording that you're watching, you've got young kids. You might have babies, you have toddlers, and you're wondering, what am I going to do? And I know you're wondering this because this is what I experience every day talking to parents in person, talking to them in Wisconsin, talking to them throughout the country, talking to them virtually. Parents just wondering, what am I going to do? And there are solutions. None of them are easy, though. There's no easy way. You're going to have to stand up, speak out, say something. And if your kids are grown, well, then great. You can really be a powerful voice for those who have younger kids and remember what it was like when they were little and they had to nap and they had, it's spring, they had baseball, they had soccer, and remember what it was like to be that tired and even worried that there would be retaliation from a teacher if you spoke out. So stand up for the parents and the moms and the dads in your community. If your kids are grown, then you can stand in the gap for them. And that's what I try to do. And I have kids in public school right now and private school and college and medical college and nursing school. So I get it, but you can send your kids to public school. I do, and have a good relationship with the teachers. It's not perfect, but a lot of teachers want to work with you, even if who cares about the politics? Just love to get all of that out of the classroom and just focus on educating kids. And if you come with that attitude, you can be really successful. And I would imagine there aren't a whole lot of teachers that want to run around with a wooden penis model. Okay. There are not a whole lot of teachers that want to hold this and teach kids how to put on condoms and give out fruit flavored condoms. That's not, on their bingo card. So when you find out things like this are happening, contact us at Moms for Liberty. I am a social media manager for Moms for Liberty, so I'll see your DMs and we'll try to share these stories. We'll try to help you out and give you the tools that you need to fight back, to get this stuff out of the classroom. Or at least the opt-outs. At the very least, make sure that parents are aware. Hey, we're going to have a wooden penis and we're going to pass it around. Every kid's going to have one and we're going to, do you mind? I mean, that's That's the minimum. That's the floor, right? That's not too much to ask. And then asking questions about where is this coming from? Who is paying for this? Because it's not free. When they tell you it's free, it's not. Who ends up paying for this? And it's us. It's our tax dollars. And listen, we know what the Democrats are going to do. They're going to, oh, they provide this, they provide that, or what. All those services can be provided by someone else. We don't need to have Planned Parenthood doing it. And if it's okay for Planned Parenthood to teach abstinence and sex ed in public schools, then by golly, let's get the Catholic Church, let's get Christians involved, let's have rabbis come in, let's, whatever, let's let them in the schools too. Let's let them teach curriculum. Because if you can have an organization like Advocates for Youth, which is down for the religion of gender ideology, and if you can have Planned Parenthood, which profits, which gets a huge profit from these condoms failing, coming in and then being the supplier, then why not? Why can't Catholic priests go into public schools and start teaching classes? If Planned Parenthood can teach classes, if Planned Parenthood is a resource, if Planned Parenthood is a go-to, if Planned Parenthood is like, hey, go to Planned Parenthood, if they are working in conjunction with state departments of education and well, they used to be with HHS and with activist organizations like Advocates for Youth, if they can do that, this is why our institutions are such a mess. Conservatives have to be as outspoken and offended as woke crazy people. We have to. This should offend any person with common sense, regardless of how you feel about whether or not kids should have this education, whether or not you personally love Planned Parenthood, you think they're the greatest, you write them checks for donations, fine. But that's not fair to those parents and families who don't want this in their schools, who don't want their kids to go through these exercises. They don't want their 8th grade boys to go on a condom scavenger hunt through Walgreens and Walmart pharmacy. It's unfair to undermine parents this way, just as it would be unfair for the Catholic priests to come in, for Baptist ministers to come in and start baptizing your kids without you knowing in the classroom. If you are opposed to that, then you should be opposed to this. It is only fair. And we have got to have the courage and the guts to stand up to this. We have to. We can't just turn a blind eye to it. It is not okay for our tax dollars to be funding activist organizations. So now I have to go get my own children from school, but we will be talking about this more tonight. Again, tune in tonight. Tune in to, I'm going to pull up the flyer so everyone can see it. It's going to be a great, here we go. Comprehensive Sexuality Education Virtual Lectures. So there's Seth Gruber of the White Rose Resistance and my friend Kelly Shanowski, mom, activist, independent researcher. Altogether amazing person. And my friend Melissa will be moderating this, and I'm going to read. They will tell you the details about the intentional goal to sexualize children, destabilize families, and deconstruct Western society. So now if you go to Um, so if you go to, I'm at Scarlet for Kids, and you can follow Moms for Liberty at Moms, number 4 Liberty. Right at the top pinned is the information about comprehensive sexuality education lecture. So if you sign in, now you can watch this live, it'll be on RX, but if you sign in, you can actually submit a question, and you can interact. So that's great. So join us, sign in, up on X, Facebook, Instagram. It'll be live, but you'll learn a lot. And I hope to see you there, and tune in afterwards because we're going to talk some more about this and I'll be a little bit more prepared. Thanks for listening and see you soon. And thank you very much. I want to thank you to Lindsay Datko for all the work that you're doing and for exposing what is happening in the Columbine High School with 14-year-olds. Yeah, just crazy, crazy. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good afternoon. See you tonight.